Hey folks, it's the Red, and welcome back to Let's Play Shantae, Half Genie Hero. We are continuing with the Risky Boots DLC, and we are about to go ahead, travel, and visit a new area.
Where haven't I tried yet?
Let's get moving!
Alright, so in the last part, we finished Main Street, we beat up the Tinker Slug, and we got the Pirate Hat ability. So, on to the next level, Mermaid Falls. Though, considering that Risky travels by ship, and this area is clearly landlocked, how is she getting here? I don't know.
Ugh, that smell. Fresh air.
With a hint of nerd stench, riding on the winds of some nearby sea caves. No doubt caused by that wannabe tinkerer, the Techno Baron. If the scaly runt's operating in this area, one of my precious components could be close at hand. I'll track him down, and then...
I'll take what I want!
Partial voice acting is fun.
Snap two!
Right, so now that we have the Pirate Hat ability, when we jump and press the R button, we can hover our way to the ground, similar to how Sky was able to do so back in Friends to the End using Wrench. Though, just like with Sky, she kinda drops pretty fast, and you don't really float around like you did in Pirate's Curse, though with some upgrades that we can get later on, we can fix that. So, we'll be sure to look forward to that. Also, we got ourselves a corn dog there. Just a couple more food items, and then we'll be able to have the full arsenal at our supply. And yes, the blue crabs are back. And just like before, they'll block your attacks, so I don't actually recommend trying to fight them with Risky, at least not right now. I would recommend just trying to jump over them and proceed without really any conflict. Also, you can get around this enemy by using your hat ability to reach the upper platform and then attack from behind. Sneaky. So, the giant blue crabs get to be a bit of a problem when you have a very low ceiling between you and him, and so to jump over them, try shooting at them repeatedly, then jump, and then pull out your hat once you hit the ceiling, in order to keep yourself above long enough for it to pass under you. If you don't have the hat, well, I don't recommend coming here first. Simple as that. The hat makes traversing this area so much easier. It also lets you get to areas like this, although we can't really do anything yet until we have another ability. But, yeah. Though it's not required, the level is very much set up so that you can get through without the need of the hat. But it definitely makes life a lot easier, as you can see right here. You can use it to jump that gap. So, as you can probably imagine, you'll be getting a new piece of pirate gear for each boss that you beat. So, you can play through the levels in any order that you want, but the levels are also designed around the idea that it could be your first level, so you can get through without any of these pirate upgrade items. Some quick thinking there. Not too much of an issue. It's best to attack these little worm girls from behind, because by the time they turn around and try and shoot at you... Oh, didn't mean to fall there. Okay, you are all kinds of in the way there. But anyway, if you attack the worm girls from behind, by the time they get turned around and ready to shoot at you, you've already basically got them beaten. Because the hat gives you a little extra push up when you press the R button, kind of like a small second jump of sorts, it gives you just enough height to be able to get over those giant blue crabs without jumping into them. You shouldn't rely on just a single jump to do that. But yeah, with a little bit of hat and a little bit of careful jumping over those blue crabs, you can get through this first part without too much problem. And now onto the factory, which surprisingly doesn't seem to have any of the hooks running right now. Not that we really need them, we can just hit these little eye shooters and take these platforms up and down. Also make good use of your pistol to take out these electric bats. Remember not to hit them with your scimitar, because that's just asking for trouble. We're also gonna have a lot of slime gals around here. You can usually crouch down and just shoot them that way. I'm not sure what the deal is with the placement of those bats. There's literally no reason to go down there. Carefully jump over that crab. As you can see, they are kind of big, so jumping over them, even with the hat, can be a little difficult. So make sure you time your jump carefully. It might be easier to just have them charge at you and then jump over them that way, just to be sure that you clear the jump. Ah, now the hooks are up and running. Careful of this fish that jumps out of the water still, even though there are no girls for them to attach to, besides you, of course, so watch out. But other than that, we're basically just going through the same obstacles from before. Although you do have several different types of projectiles at your disposal, I don't actually recommend using those outside of boss fights, or at least not this boss, until this boss anyway. You're going to want to hang on to as much ammunition as you can. Just as well, any food drops that you get, which, by the way, I feel like the enemies tend to drop food more often if you hit them with some of your special weapons. I know that's contradictory to what I just said there, but, yeah, I find that sometimes they seem, anyway, to drop food more often when you hit them with things like the Seeker or the Spread Shot. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I just seem to get a lot more food drops when that happens. So, take that with a grain of salt. If you really want to get some food items, try killing enemies with your special weapons. And speaking of the food items, actually, I would also recommend hanging on to those and only using those during boss fights as well, because these levels shower you with hearts. So there should never really be a time when you're playing through the level with Risky that you're really hurting for health. Even with your basic 3 skull health bar, I don't really find that it's too much of an issue. Also be careful that you don't get crushed by this block, otherwise you have to do this entire room all over again. And look, another giant heart! There is literally no reason to use food here. So yeah, I would hang on to your food and only use them during the boss fights. You want to stay up against those guys as long as you can, because again, you've only got 3 hearts to work with. Or 3 skulls in this case. Here's another instance of the hat being a great MVP here. Otherwise, you would have to hit this thing, and then try and jump on top of it from there. But yeah, we'll just use the hat, go onto this platform, and continue upward. Slide under here if you want to get to these jars. I like sliding here because it makes you slide a little longer than you usually do. That's always fun. There we go. Okay, now we need to get this crab to charge at us. And jump. You shouldn't mind the giant blue crabs, because they're just a little crabby. But yeah, there's a lot less hook riding in this one, and a lot more platforms being generated, so mainly just a hit the eyeball, quickly get across before the platforms disappear type of challenge. Yeah, it makes things a little simpler, but I don't mind too much. And as you can see, we have another chest up here that's going to require another pirate upgrade before we can actually get to it. That's why I'm going to be waiting until a separate part to go for all the chests at once, similar to how we did with Shantae. Anyway, slide time! And here, the slide is another good reason why you should definitely come here after you've gotten the hat, because it will make jumping over these barrels so much easier. Just like how it was with Sky when we were doing Friends to the End. Although this time around you're going to need to keep an eye out for bats. Be ready to jump over any low-hanging ones like those there. Because, yeah, again, only 3 skulls, and 1 hit from one of these bats will take off 2 health. Blue. So watch out for that. You're also going to encounter a lot of juicy melons around here, which will definitely help out with the boss coming up. And some of these barrel jumps, especially this one coming up, definitely helps to have the hat here. So, need I say it? Come here second. At least second. The hat will make your life so much easier in this level. Ooh.
For a queen.
Alright, got a couple more tight jumps here. It's best to wait until you are coming down a little bit before you press the jump button, because then it will be like you got a second jump out of it. Oop. Ugh, that was a bad time. But, we made it through at any rate. And we come to the end of the slide. dare that techno-moron attempt to block my efforts? No one defies me! I'll wring his thick neck, if he has one. No, I guess he doesn't have a neck. You there! Get lost! I just got production back on track and will not tolerate further distractions. I still need to install hooks in the first section, for goodness sake.
Ugh.
Listen up, you little creep. I know you've got the part I need,
Now, hand it over.
if you know what's good for you. No one speaks to Techno Baron in this manner. No one! Tisk tisk. We could do this the easy way, or the teeth-to-tail slicing, torso-gutting, sloppy way. Gruesome. Yee-ha-ha-ha! I like the cut of your jib. Queen of the Seven Seas, is it? Well, turns out my Sea Queen is a whole lot bigger than yours. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself! Hey, I do the puns around here, okay, Techno Baron? Eesh. But, yep, as you could probably imagine, it's time for Giga Mermaid once again. Giga Mermaid, recaptured captive. So, once again, Risky does not have access to the bubble like Shantae does, but one thing I do like to do is have the Tinkerbats attacking the lower ones while I have Risky concentrating on the upper ones. Meanwhile, you gotta avoid the Mermaid's giant bubble attacks and the smaller bubble attacks. Ugh. This fight can be a real pain.
Yum.
There we go. With any luck, though, you collected plenty of melons during the slide and didn't get hit too much on the way here. If you did that, then things should be a little more manageable here. But yeah, I find that it's very difficult to try and avoid most of this stuff without having to go really out of your way to avoid the damage. You there, get to work. This giant bubble in particular makes it really difficult to navigate around, so I'll try to make it pop on the ground and then make my way back up. Though even with the hat ability, I find the platforming here to be a little difficult. Also, try to make these smaller bubbles fizzle out by taking small steps forward. Almost made it. So we'll just use some more juicy melon here. Get another Tinkerbat down there. And let's see if we can... Okay, it's shooting in the other direction, so maybe now we can focus on some of these locks. Need to get a Tinkerbat down to the other side. Okay, we'll climb to the upper one here and have a Tinkerbat go down to the bottom one while I start slicing up this top one. Alright, let's finish this last one here. And there we go. Just keep an eye on your health. Use the Tinkerbats to attack the lower ones while you concentrate on the upper ones, and you shouldn't have too much of an issue here. Just watch out for those bubbles as best as you can. But we're not done yet. Time for Phase 2, and this is a good time to start using your Seekers and Spread Shots, so that you don't have to rely on the platforms in order to get up and damage her. Just make sure your shots count, because you've only got 30 of them to work with, and that's not going to be enough to take her out. Just make sure you're not standing in one place for too long. When you see her tilting her head downward, she's about to pull her head back, so you don't want to be hanging around. You don't want to keep shooting at her, otherwise you're just going to wind up missing her. Your slide definitely helps for getting out of the way of this tail attack, so make good use of that as well. But the Seeker, if only we had more of them, it would make this fight so much easier. I don't know, it kind of seems like she has more health this time around. Oh, and don't shoot while you're trying to dodge attacks. That would be an ideal way to handle this. But yeah, we're going to need all the Seekers, a good amount of health, and just about all of the spread shots in order to finish her off. So, yeah, definitely make your shots count, because if you run out, you're going to have to rely on these platforms and hooks in order to get up to her head and take a couple of slices at her. Tried to slide there. Quite getting out of the way there. But yeah, I would say that despite having the Seeker and despite having these spread shots, Risky seems to have a harder time with this boss than some of the other characters do. We should be pretty close now, but and yeah, there we go. 30 Seekers and 10 spread shots, and we finally are able to bring her down. It's really weird. She has this huge arsenal and doesn't seem to have an easier time fighting her. Bolo was definitely the better choice for this. I am Risky Boots, Queen of the Seven Seas. Know your place, worm, or next time I'll make boots out of your hide and mount your giant fish friend on my wall. You know, if I have room for it.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
That's yes, Captain.
I like how he went flying after the animation finished. Yeah? What do you want, fish face? Didn't you hear what I said about mounting you on the wall? Don't look at me like that. I'm a bad guy. Don't think for a second that I helped you on purpose. Purpose! Never mind. I sure do love this game's dialogue. In any case, you owe me one. Got that? Oh, well, that will do nicely. So we hit the chest, and we've got ourselves another component part as we've completed Mermaid Falls. Super jump! Excellent. With this component in hand, I'll be able to make my dynamo even stronger.
Oh.
Is this for me? And so we get a grappling hook.
Grappling gun.
It's grappling hook. It very clearly says that... yeah, okay, fine. Basically, you can use this to attach to ceilings and crawl along them.
It's lovely.
Good work, men. I'll put this grappling hook to the test right away. Keep those contraptions coming.
Now, stop fooling around and man your stations.
And so with that, Mermaid Falls is finished. I will admit the Giga Mermaid fight was a little sloppy. A little sloppier than how it went in practice, but hey, we got it done, didn't we? So anyway, we're going to go ahead and call it here, and in the next part, we're going after Tasseltown. See you then!